hotbeds of white supremacy. One being Attica Correctional Facility, where in 1971 the riot, the largest riot in American history, took place, where over 30, uh, incarcerated persons were killed along with staff, and it still has not been replicated. And as far as the quelling of a rebellion, but Attica is known as it's a symbol of white supremacy. Then you have institutions like Great Meadow Correctional Facility, which was just recently closed, was also a hotbed for oppression and abuse and sadism. In addition to Clinton Correctional Facility and so on and so forth, the list keeps going on and on. But the culture of abuse is so prevalent that when you step into these institutions, the officers are not only, their presence are not letting you know that, non-verbally, they're saying it verbally. Like, you're in this jail now, and if you don't comply, this is what will happen to you. Officers will tell you, we will kill you here. We will hurt you real bad here. And that's just the culture of prison up north. And anybody who says otherwise, it's just not, it hasn't been there.
You had mentioned the culture is different. You feel it not only through the body language, but from what they say. And you called it a hotbed, or a hotbed of white supremacy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so how would that manifest day to day for you being incarcerated?
That's a great question. So for somebody who is experiencing that, the first time you walk through the door, you you already know where some of these hotbeds of white supremacy are. So you kind of already have heard of the reputation of an Attica or a Clinton or a a great medal for that matter. So if I'm in, let's say, a Sing Sing correctional facility, they may have sent me there first. You might not see a lot of staff abuse, although it is prevalent. You might not see it on the level you will when you get to Attica. People are more inclined to want to stay closer to home to their families because, a visit from the Bronx or Brooklyn might take your family 45 minutes to an hour to get there versus them having to go 7-8 hours close to the Canadian border. Right. So people want to stay close to home. But the stories, you've heard the stories from Rikers Island. You heard the stories already. You heard the stories that if you go to Attica, this is what the culture is. So when you step into Attica, I mean, for me, I'm only going to speak for me. Despite me saying to myself that I was going to be unwilling to accept being abused by anybody, I was, you get butterflies in your stomach, like, yo, this is Attica. You are, it's like, I'm in Attica correctional facility. Like, this is not a joke. So when you step into Attica, you feel it. I mean, it's like, it's abuse and oppression and its reputation. It permeates that environment. So when you step in there, the officers are very verbal about where you are. They're going to let you know that, you're in Attica. This is where you're at now. And for the most part, if you get out of line, we will handle you here. They may even tell you, to some instances, whatever you got going on, make sure you guys take care of it in the yard. But if you do anything in my cell block, or you do it in the mess hall or what have you, then we will hurt you bad, and they'll let you know that. My personal experience in Attica, I've seen so many individuals who have gotten abused there. It was ridiculous. They had a culture where the officers would hit the floor anytime an alarm went off. You knew what type of alarm it was based on the officers hitting the floor with their sticks. Right. So if it was just a fight, it was just an alarm, right? It might just be a typical alarm. But if you heard the hitting of the sticks on the floor, the officers was letting you know that the officer, there's an assault happening, and that they would respond in addition to that. I remember officers walking by ourselves with white sheets on their heads, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, just, clicking the gates so that everybody will wake up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 officers walking down the gallery with sheets on their head like the Ku Klux Klan. So our experience.
Wait. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want to I want to make sure that I got you correctly. You're saying that you had correctional officers going down with white sheets over their head?
Yeah, this is Attica.
Okay.
This is as the
Okay.
youth say today, this is no cap. This is
Yeah.
a true testament of somebody who not only was
Mm.
present, somebody who was actively involved, who was aware. Yes, the officers in Attica Correctional Facility, and this is coming from the mouth of Moshe Canty, they were walking on the galleries 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with white sheets on their heads. So
Wow.
as I mentioned, understanding that culture of abuse that is so prevalent in these environments. I was fortunate at the time, as I mentioned to you previously, I was a part of a gang. I'm no longer I've since moved on from that gang and
Hmm.
but I was blood at the time. And I'm proud that I was blood. I'm just being honest with you because what I stood for and what the principles and values of that gang stood for at the time was to fight against oppression. And I embodied those principles. I truly lived by those
Mm.
principles. It was broken down to me brotherly love override oppression and destruction, which essentially means that as brothers, we are going to hold each other down and we're going to fight against abuse and oppression to uplift ourselves and empower ourselves. And if it means us giving our lives for what we believe in, then by all means, that's what we'll do.
If you found value in this video, please like the video, share the video, and if you feel that I've earned it, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. My goal is to give you honest and direct feedback and go deeper than what the mainstream media is telling you. Take care. God bless. See you next time.